Testing. One, two, one, two, three. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Eric flight. Nick, I'm just glad you showed up, bud. I get it. But I'm gonna have to take my time on this one because we are flying the Diamond DA40 Next Gen, and we're doing that for the first time. I got a checklist and everything. I have practiced a little bit, but it's still a little bit new to me. So it is what it is, and we're gonna just do a little flight from Van Nuys, California to Paso Robles, California. Van Nuys, just because it's a Class Delta airport somewhere in the LA area. And then, what? What's that mean? Oh, you mean your sim training? You pushed it back later? Oh. Oh. What time do you have sim training at? What was that? Oh, that was all right. Anyways, we got a checklist here for the DA40 somewhere. Actually, it's right here, and this is the official checklist. So we're going to use this to start the plane here. But this is the official one. Again, use it a couple times. Started making my own, so it's only one page instead of several pages. But well, hey, as long as you get the training, and that's what matters. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put this on the. I'm going to put this on the actual window here while we do this checklist here. So, all right, going to pretend the pre-flight's done. Baggage tow bar secured, fuel valve normal. It is, and secured. Power level will be idle. That'd be these things. I just want to make sure they're all working here. You'll notice that it's just one lever on this here. And that is because it's a very simplified system, even though it has a constant speed prop, I believe. So everything's it's kind of like the Cirrus. It's all intertwined into one. So, well, you know, you do what you have to do, man. You know, as long as you get things done, that's the main thing. Get it done. All right. Power lever is idle. Parking brake is set, and that would be right here. It's locked down. Alternate air is closed. Now this one is right here. Basically when it's like that, it's off. So that is electric master is off. Very good. Avionic master is off. Essential bus is off. And some of the stuff I still have to study in the flight manual that they have for this. But alternate static, I've not been able to find the alternate static in this plane. So if anyone knows where the alternate static is, you let me know, because I have no clue. I've been looking for it and can't find it anywhere. But it's there somewhere. All right, engine master off again. They must really... Oh, engine master's over here, actually. It's off. I keep thinking electric master off. Still getting used to some things here. Voter switch is inoperative in this model, but you would have that off. I mean auto. Fuel pumps. Still can't find where the fuel pump switch is. Wondering where the fuel pump is. If anyone knows where the fuel pump switch is, I've been looking for it. I just can't find it. I thought it might be somewhere close to here, but I did not see it anywhere. So yeah, we'll just pretend that it is off. All light switches are off. They're all right here. Emergency switch is off and guarded. It's right here. So it is off and it is guarded. ELT is armed. That's over here. So we're good on that. Circuit breaker is checked in. We check all the circuit breakers here. And that's good. Flap selector up. It is set to up. At least the indicator's right there. Pitot heat is off. Fuel transfer is off. So you do have to transfer the fuel. I should probably fuel this thing full too. That might help, huh? Always go full if you can. All right, we're not starting with external power, so we can skip that one. Electric master is going to go on. One set to the right there. Rudder pedals adjusted. They feel good. Good to go. Passengers instructed. Seatbelt fastened. Rear door closed and latch. Front canopy position 1 or 2. G1000 power and acknowledged. It is. Where are we? Master Flight Director. EIS fuel. That'd be over here. fuel looks good. Fuel quantity check, reset, set. It's all good. We're 100% here. Fuel temperature checked. We are in the green. Total time in service would be the Hobbs, which is over here. Because I already flown it for 1.3 hours. Oh, that's okay, man. Hey, you have good trading, man. All right, and I appreciate you stopping in. Power lever idle. Very good. ACL strobe. Strobe lights are on. Okay, now we're ready to start the engine. So we're going to clear prop as soon as I'm ready to go. And electric master or engine? Engine master on. So I'd rather turn everything on before I'm right about to start the engine. Okay. Enunciations, engine instruments checked. Roll in the green, we're good to go. Glow indication. I still don't really have any indication of what that glow indication means. So again, if anyone knows what that means, still trying to learn the plane a little bit. Start key to start. So brakes are... Actually, we have the parking brake on, so we should be good. Clear prop, and let's start it. And there we go. That's how you start it up. Oil pressure should be in the green. It is. Voltage, electrical load. Would probably be over here, I would think. But, again, can't see it in this G1000. I know in some models in the Microsoft Flight Simulator you can, but alright. Enunciators, engine instrument check. We're all in the green. We're good. Alright, check after engine start. No external power. Oil pressure, again, is checked. RPM is 710, plus or minus 30. That's close enough. Circuit breakers, we check them in again. Pitot heat on. There'd usually be an indication, I think, but there is none. Amps, again, would be checked. Pitot heat off. We're in California, and we're using Rex Weather Force. Rex Weather Force for weather. It says it is 66 degrees out. Way better than the East Coast here, so we're going to stay with it. So many steps. Not used to this plane. Avionics master on. Should be right here. And the radios and stuff came on. FMS setup, which just basically set up your radios and stuff. So, without further ado, let's get my EFB out here. And Van Nuys has tower on, actually, well, 127.55. Let's get the weather here.
Van Nuys Airport information, Mike 2200 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, clear. Temperature, 17. Dew point, 1 tree. Altimeter tree 0.0 tree. Visual runway tree 4 left and visual runway tree 4 right in use. Landing and departing runway tree 4 left and runway tree 4 right. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have, Mike. Van Nuys
Tip
Airport
of
information,
my
Mike 2200 Zulu.
S pen's a little
Wind
weird.
calm. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, clear. Temperature, 17.
Yeah, just double checking
1
things.
tree. Altimeter tree 0.0 tree. Visual runway tree 4 left and visual runway tree 4 right in use. Landing and departing runway tree 4 left and runway tree 4 right. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions.
Not that's going to matter much because we're going to be on
Controller
that sim.
initial contact
So,
you have, Mike.
all right. With that, let us
Van
go
Nuys
to
Airport information, Mike 2200
tower.
Wind calm.
I mean,
Visibility,
ground.
9er.
121.7.
Clear.
Just for a second.
Temperature,
I might get everything set up
Dew
here.
point.
Again, we're on VATSIM, so we're going to have to contact somebody. Probably approach to get out of here, Van Nuys, because this is Class Delta. Going back to the checklist, though, just to make sure we got this. Flight plan, we already got that. Radios, I have to file the flight plan, so that's actually pretty good that it told me that. There you go. Radios, comm, nav, DMI, CDI. We'll put the GPS on in case I want to do autopilot at all. And flight ID if applicable. FMS setup, flight management system setup completed. Autopilot test, disconnect, press. There we go. Alright, check electrical trim not working, which we would do over here. We twist this. But it's going to work no matter what in this model because they don't really model it that well. At least like that in real life. Autopilot on. Check and make sure that everything's kind of working there. And it says flight, you know, autopilot there, leveler, and everything like that. Turn it off again. Check autopilot off. GA button press. Check FD commands. Climb FD. I'm not going to do all that stuff. It's just a little too much there. All right, autopilot test completed. Floodlight checked on as required. I don't quite understand what they mean by floodlight. I mean, I don't know if I don't see taxi lights, but I'm putting on landing taxi. Hey, what's up? Cool. Where are you in training about? Position lights are going on. Flaps, we gotta check that they're fully traveling, so we're gonna get a visual while I flap. The flap switch down. All right. Two-way radios, you mean to find your position? Is that what you're talking about? Because that's usually what they make you do it for, to find your position when you're, where they basically just put you in the middle of nowhere and say, hey, where are you located? So, I need how to use two radios. I think that's what you mean. Well, I'll try to do it really fast, but I can't promise anything. I'm going to try my best. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to where I'm more familiar with Plymouth here, and we'll switch to Sky Vector here. And here's Plymouth, where I usually fly out of. We have the Marconi VOR there, and we'll use the New Martha's Vineyard one right here, okay? So pretty much, let's say that you're trying to find your position, you're down here, south of Plymouth, and they're like, all right, how do you find out where you are? Well, you could do 2, which means you're going to the VOR, and you'd have to use this thing about 72 from Marconi, and what you do is if you're traveling this way, you'd go 2, and you adjust it until you find out the arrow going straight and all lined up in the middle on the VOR. And it would say 270, which means that you're pointing at this and heading 702 the VOR. So you would mark a line going through this. And then you dial into Martha's Vineyard. And I'd probably do a from there, because if I'm facing this way, I know that I'm going to be from there. So I would dial it in, and I turn that wheel until it said from, and the arrow is lined up. And let's see, I'd be right about here. So you're talking probably about 007-ish from, and then you draw a line from there, and where they intersect is where you are. So, well, if you're going this way, the heading's totally different. It depends on the VOR, the needle. So, again, you just draw lines from wherever it intersects. So it could be from 250, which would be right about here. So actually, it'd be more like probably 80. But you just intersect the lines from whatever it told you, and that will tell you where your position is. Yeah. The check on my check ride, they just asked, "Hey, how are you gonna find how to get to Providence?" I was about out here on my check ride. He's like, "All right, you lost. How would you get to Providence?" I just dialed in Providence, turned it till it said 2, and lined up the needle in the middle, and that gave me my heading. So it will if you line it up in the middle, but you have to draw lines of where they intersect, and where the 2 VORs intersect, that's your position. So. And if you have DME equipment, you could also kind of go by that. It'll tell you it's like a double check on how far away you are. So, it's kind of hard to describe just in the sim, I gotta be honest with you. So, alright, autopilot test, floodlight, I put all that stuff. Full flaps. Looking good. So now we're gonna go to takeoff. Altimeter's 2 of them, because you have one here, and you have one here. But, I'm gonna adjust that now. Go. Standby horizons right here, checked. Transponder, we're going to turn on. Alt, good. We're all good there. Engine temperatures checked. And parking brake will be released. We have to call up ground before we do the taxi. So, but all right, so we'll put this to the wayside here. That's a big checklist, by the way. All right, we're at Van Nuys. We're supposed to be over here, but for some reason there's a bug in this. of air program. Some people have reported it too, but we're at double A over here on the ramp, so we'll use it without having it follow me. I guess it only happens at certain airports or something like that, but something I can really do about it. So it's kind of like you just have the chart without you. Because it's closest to the Marconi and you can intersect too. I mean, as long as you're in the range of any two, you can kind of intersect where it's coming from. It's just that those are two close. Martha's Vineyard and Marconi. So you should have a general idea of where you are. So you pick the two closest ones because it'll be the most accurate. Because the farther away you are from a VOR, the less, I want to say, less accurate it is. It's not honed in as much on your position because you're not as close. The stronger signal is always going to win there. Alright, where am I? I gotta call up ground here. Let's get a radio check too. So VATSIM. I'm gonna dial into approach here, South California or something like that. I'm not used to flying California. I haven't done it in a long time, so I think it's South Cal approach. So South Cal approach, Diamond, 9 Echo Foxtrot, radio check please.
Diamond 9 Echo Foxtrot, read you 5x5.
Thank you, 9 Echo Foxtrot. Alright, so with that...
632, welcome to LA, exit left when able, across 24 left and ramp via Echo.
Not used to saying Diamond either, so I'm gonna have to correct myself. With Cirrus, Cessna, and Diamond now. But we are not gonna have flight following, we're just gonna get out of here. So, Van Nuys with current ATIS. Ready to take off. It's just a lot of stuff I'm thinking about tonight. So, when you go on 2, that means you're heading to the VOR. So that'd be the heading that would lead you to the VOR. If you're from, it means it's the radial from the center of the VOR to your plane. So, alright. South Cal approach, Diamond Echo, 9 Echo Foxtrot on the ground at Van Nuys, ready to taxi. VFR departure to the northwest with current ATIS information. Boy, we're kind of corralled in here.
November 489 Echo Foxtrot. Sorry, say one more time.
Diamond 9 Echo Foxtrot, November 489 Echo Foxtrot on the ground at Van Nuys, ready to taxi. VFR departure to the northwest with the current ATIS here.
Diamond Echo Foxtrot, would you like flight following?
Negative on the flight following for 9 Echo Foxtrot.
They're 489 Echo Foxtrot, squawk 4761, runway 16 right, taxi via Alpha.
That was 4761, and what were the other instructions for 9 Echo Foxtrot?
Runway 16 right, taxi via Alpha.
16 right via Alpha for 9 Echo Foxtrot. Alright, so that means that we're going all the way down Alpha. Well, that's pretty easy. So we'll turn to the left, though, and then go right down this taxiway. So with that, parking brakes are off. And I'm going to run over this ground guy, but it's going to have to happen, so. Goodbye, ground guy. Alright, so like I said, I've practiced this plane a couple times. I'm trying to spread out into different planes instead of always using the Cirrus or the Cessna. Most of the time I use some Cessnas. We did the 152 last time. So let me just make sure this is Alpha. That is not Alpha. That's holding short of the runway, so we're going to have to go over. Maybe that is Alpha. I don't know. We're going to have to look. The rudders on this take a little bit of getting used to. They're not as... whatchamacallit. I have no clue what the D's mean. I gotta be honest with you. So, I would have to look into that, my friend. I have no clue. So, gotta be honest with you. I didn't prepare the most of this flight tonight. I just wanted to kind of flying it up there with this new plane. That's what I'm really focusing on.
88 RNF Docker, only 25 right, clear for takeoff.
I know exactly where they are in the chart. I just don't know what they mean. So. But alright, that's a hold short right there.
88 clear for takeoff.
That's a hold short there. Alright, so this is the runway. So. Alright, all the way down. And the VRAP is still having problems with some moving maps. I never really saw that till tonight, so that's my first time, but people did type in the forum that they were having problems with the moving map. But there's no way that we were going to fly here on the East Coast tonight and where I am situated in real life, because it's basically terrible snow, visibility, all that stuff here tonight. And just not going to be able to do it, so. And my frame rates aren't the best here either, I got to be honest with you. Well, it says 30, but I don't know. Seems a little laggy to me. Probably because of all the scenery. And I do have Van Nuys scenery installed because it does look a lot better than default, so. Dude, you know, the only thing is that, like, I can't really do that because, like, I'm gonna, like, have a lot of thought in that and never get to fly out of here. So, but listen, if you want, I will see about maybe turning autopilot on a little later and doing it. I just gotta get up in the air first, all right, man? And I do get it. I understand it. So, all right, I'll try doing it off the top of my head. Look at the sectional with Plymouth. I'm not going to be able to project it while I look here. But if you go to Kilo Papa Yankee Mike, the Marconi, which is over near Cape Cod, and Martha's Vineyard are the two VORs I would use. Let's say that we're right south of the airport. I'd probably dial into Marconi, and I would turn the CDI needle until it said a to or from, just to get a bearing on it. If it's from, it means the radial is coming from the center. If it's going to, it means it's going to the center of the VOR. So you have to kind of read to where it would be going in direction to. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to draw on paper right now, sorry. But you would draw it on the sectional. You'd have a pencil. You draw a straight line from that radial all the way out, past where you think you are. And then you do the same thing with Martha's Vineyard. You turn that CDI dial till it lined up with the needle in the middle and gave you a to or from, and then you'd have that radial, and you trace that radial out, and they give you an indication where they intersect. That's your approximate position on the sectional. You can use from or to. You just have to understand that from means from the center, and you follow that radial from the VOR. And to means that it's going to the center of the VOR. So sometimes, and most of the time, you have to read from the other side to see it's 60 degrees to the VOR. So it doesn't really matter as long as you know the difference between from and to. Alright, we'll also have to do a run up here, so get ready on that, 'cause this alpha is just pretty much straight down there. Before takeoff check is the run up, basically. And, from is probably easier because you could go right from the center from out, but you should know the difference between to and from either way because that will be on your written. Because they might say, all right, what does this indicate on there? And they'll give you like a VOR. And so they're going to make sure that you know to and from. So to is actually easier to find your way to a VOR because you just twist it till it says to, and then wherever the needle lines up, that means you fly that direction. It goes right to the VOR. So actually, for finding a place, like on my check ride, like, oh, how do you get to Providence from here? To show them that, you just switch it till it says to, and then the needle lines up, and go, I'm going to fly that heading to go to Providence, or whatever VOR. Yeah. Yep. No, to is to the VOR. To the VOR and from the VOR. That's the way you have to think about it. Does that make sense? And it's 180 degrees is the reciprocal. So if you're from 60 degrees, you're going to at 240. Okay. When you come up from the VOR, the from would be from the center of the VOR out, that radial, that line. To is, you're going to, but you have to kind of go on the other side of the VOR to see what degree you're going into the VOR. Does that make sense? You're going to the VOR at that degree, so. All right, 16 right still. How are your comms doing, by the way? Because you do well to get on VAT Sim and do what I do for the comms.
American 88, leaving my airspace, LA Center offline, radar service terminated, change to advisory frequency, approved, see you later.
Is he going offline? Is that what he just said? I don't know if that was to me or not.
Singapore 7973, leaving my airspace, LA Center offline, radar service terminated, frequency,
oh, that's what he said. Okay.
Alright,
Alright, so here's 16 right, or at least it should be. Now this line over here is the ILS hold short line, so we're not going to go to that. We can go all the way. And looks like they have some barriers here for noise abatement, so we're going to take a quick turn here. And do a run up right over here. Alright, checklist. Again, we're taking our time with this checklist because I'm not as familiar with this plane as other planes. So, it's all about getting different planes going on instead of just flying the same old planes all the time. Alright, parking brake set. Seatbelt fastened, adjustable backrest, upright, rear door closed latch, front carry low class. Door warning light is off, circuit breakers, we check them again. Electric elevator trim, we check, and it's set to take off. It's at 0 degrees, we're good. Alright, flaps, check takeoff, they are. Flight controls, the box.
JetBlue
Good.
1214 are coming in very broken and unreadable.
And I just hit a button, so hopefully,
Diamond Star
position
9 Echo
lights.
Foxtrot, sorry about that, runway 16 right, clear for takeoff, maintain VFR.
Roger, we're just doing a run up first, and then we'll be right with you.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I didn't forget about you.
Roger, 9 Echo Foxtrot. Alright, power level idle. Master flight display, EIS system, seat switch that to a system display. Engine instruments checked, roll in the green. Voter switch is inoperable, but we touched that to test the ECU. Which is, I had to look that up. It actually has something to do with the engine control unit.
There are 60 mics aircraft
So,
type
I'm just
equipment
going to say it's
subject.
performed. Pitot heat as required, don't need it. Transponder, code mode checked. Belts, we're all set there. Fuel pumps are on.
Cessna 62 Mike, squawk
As flight director
47,
EIS
advisory
default, we just have one setting here. Parking brake released. Landing light is on. Good there. This is the lineup procedure, but I
I
can
do
do
need
before
to
I
give
get
you
out
a
there.
squawk
It's
code
one less
just
thing
in
to
case
have to worry
keep you
about.
out of the Burbank Ronan.
And approach sector runway. He already cleared us, but I'm going to make sure I read that back before I leave. Alright. Then we have to get our
If you want, you
speeds
can
to get out
squawk
of here.
1200 and we can then do quicker.
We're going to pretend that we're full here. So, rotation speed 67, rotate at 67, climb at 72. And then the cruise climb speed is 88. So we're going to rotate at 67, climb at 72, and then drop the nose a little bit and climb at around
1214
88
5x5 now.
as we're getting out of here. So, I think I got that.
Alright, LA Center, JetBlue 1214, requesting
A lot of
RF all
ambiguity. It's
departures
probably
received.
when you're directly over the VOR, and it doesn't register
JetBlue
to or
1214
from.
heavy clearance request standby.
That's what I'm thinking. You'll see that as you go over a VOR. I did the Putnam VOR in Connecticut to see that. So the closer you get to a VOR, the more sensitive it becomes. And then when you're right over it, you don't have a to or from. So that would, I think, be the line of ambiguity you're talking about. All right. Let me get my map out here. Clear for takeoff. 16 right, 9er Echo Foxtrot. Very nice. Alright, here we go. See if this thing wants to move. Alright. We will be climbing to 8,500 tonight for a cruise.
Cessna 60 Mike, squawk VFR, runway 16 right, taxi via Alpha.
I gotta be honest with you, no one really told me about the line of ambiguity. I, again, think you're just talking about when the to and from indicator is not shown because you're right over the VOR. That's what I'm taking it as. Okay, we're on 16 right. I'm gonna focus on the flight right now for a couple minutes. So, Please hang with me if you have a question, and here we go. Rotate 67, climb at what? 72. All right. And rotate. From what I was studying, it's about 12 degrees when I was flying this plane, but drop the nose a little bit. Okay, flaps up. Now we can go to 12. That's what it was. And we're gonna get out of here. All right. Get this set up just in case. There we go. But we're gonna fly this by hand for now. And I'm also gonna take off that little checklist thing there. So sorry if you got that in the middle of the screen. Just need to find it. There we go. That's the marker as we leave here. And we're good to go. No mixture control, no nothing. It's that ECU that controls everything, I believe. So, again, read the, lack of a better term, the POH just a little bit before flying this model. So I have a lot more reading to go.
American 2472 on 17 miles east.
Alright, and Alexander, do you want me to read the Korean spec here?
You do not have to read back up to the function plan.
Alright, roger that.
Alright, we're gonna fly straight out here. So I don't see any traffic, and that way we can take a right on the course once we get out further enough. So we'll wait till we're at least 1,000 feet above the altitude of the airport, which is 1,800. And then we'll check clear on right. The visuals are awesome on this. You can see a lot of things here in the diamond. But again, getting used to everything here. And if anyone has any experience at this diamond, like in real life, let me know, because I have a couple questions. So it seems to be a popular training aircraft. We're 1,800. Clear on the right. I'm going to take a turn to the right on course. And not getting a GPS signal for the moving maps. Let's see if we can fix that really fast. That may be the reason why I didn't have the moving map when I did the taxiing. Alright, I'm gonna have to go northwest, so we'll head that way first. There we go. And we should be bearing about 300 according to my electronic flight bag here, which is on my tablet. So if you're wondering where I'm getting this stuff, that's it right there. That's the Avere app that I use. We're also climbing at 88 now, that we're kind of like in a cruise climb in a way. That should give you a better cooling of the engine and stuff, better view of the nose. I'm taking it like it's a Cessna in a way, because that's what I've been trained on. So, okay. Where are you flying out of again for training? ZHB. Okay, we'll trim it up so I don't have to keep holding this. Again, that would be the knob on the yoke here. Right about there or so. Actually, no, gotta keep going up with it. Alright, but beautiful thing about this model is that we don't touch mixture or anything. It kind of does its own thing with its electronic control unit, the engine control unit, if you will. That's at least what I read into on this. So, all right, we should be there about an hour and a half or so, and get a view outside now that we're climbing here. So, here's your Diamond 40, next generation G1000, and again, just departed Van Nuys Airport. Probably should have stayed under 3,000 to stay out of Class Charlie. So let me do that really fast. But I am a two-way communication, actually. So actually, I am good. Because approach is with me. So actually, I'm not breaking the rules here. But, climbing way too high. Alright. Got a little nervous there. A lot of things to worry about when you're flying in California. But we're good now. Beautiful sights. And we are over Van Nuys, California right now. So that's what you're seeing below us. A little bit more than 300 to intersect that route. Again, the EFB kind of has us where we have to go. Set it for 8,500 on the autopilot, so that way I knew exactly what I'm going for. It's nice to set that up and everything. The heading indicator I should probably set up too, so let's do that. But the G1000, very, very familiar to myself, thanks to flying the G1000 version of the Cessna, which is kind of cool that these new glass cockpits, when they use the same stuff, kind of is the same. And as far as the DA-40, nice plane. I really wanted to get into this, so. But as you know, if you've watched my stream, I like to follow some real world checklists and stuff. It just gets me on my private pilot skills, so. Dual monitor approach. I'm on a class Charlie right now.
Circle approach is now closed. Further services can be taken up with LA Center 125.8.
Oh, there you go. All right, it's good. We're going to go over the VATSIM Unicom then and just continue on our merry way without flight tracking.
There are 489er Echo Foxtrot. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR. Frequency change approved. See you later.
Roger. Thanks. Then Echo Foxtrot.
Have a good.
All right, I cut him off by accident. All right, we also have to do VFR. Right there, 1200, and we're good. All right, so far so smooth on flying the DA-40 for like the really first time I've streamed with it. So, but I did make the background. It's pretty sweet. And again, I might mess up a couple times. Not gonna lie on that, only due to not being as familiar with the aircraft. But it's like the Cirrus when I first started flying that one. It took me a while to get used to it. But all right, sir, we're in a climb right now. I'm gonna go back to that thing here and try to explain that thing for you. So, okay, let's pretend that we're right over Plymouth this time. We'll make it easy, all right? I got the Marconi VOR here. I have the Martha's Vineyard VOR here. I would have this on a paper sectional. Always carry a paper sectional, by the way, all right? So that way you can do stuff like this. Marconi, I'd probably do a from. And the reason why is it comes from the VOR towards my position. So I'd wait till I have a from arrow and center that. And it should center from right over Plymouth, right around 266 or so. I'm estimating there, okay? So, say from 266. So I draw a line going through 266. Actually, probably not like that. It's probably more like 274 now that I look at it. But I draw a line right from the center of the VOR to there. And then I would have a from on Martha's Vineyard, because that's going to be the easiest way of doing it. Okay, from is probably going to be about 10 degrees. So it'd have the needle centered on 10 degrees with the from indicator. And where these two lines intersect is about where I would be on the sectional. And that's how you kind of use two VORs to plot your position. Okay? Again, with electronic flight bags, you know, we use those a lot in the real world, especially me. But I never trained with one, so I had to learn with paper sectional and everything, and that is the way to do it, if you ask me. You shouldn't be trusting an electronic flight bag during your training, because you have to learn stuff like that. If the tablet dies, something happens, you have the paper sectional, and you can use it to its full advantage. So, all right, we are on course here. As you can see, the line has been drawn because I did program that with the default waypoints on the main menu. But I also have my electronic flight bag to help me, and I use that more than anything. So remember, if it's coming from the center, it's radiating from the center out on a radio. If you're going to, it means the direction to go to the center of the VOR. Well, we got some little turbulence here. upper echelons of the skies here, but we had to go high enough to get over these mountains. So this is a lighter aircraft. We're still climbing. We should be okay. We have a large load on this, and again, there's no real way to dial back the RPM. I think it's all computer controlled here with the ECU. So we're just gonna go with it. You can see it kind of has it at max right now. $8,500. Take another look outside. See the sights. Beautiful. Very nice is getting north of Los Angeles. Pacific Ocean in the distance there, and again, it's really about testing the Diamond 40 next gen tonight. But a nice aircraft. They go for about $500,000 if you get your hands on one. So I don't know if I ever fly a Diamond 40 in real life, but it's nice to fly it on the sim for something different. A little windy here. We're being kicked around a little bit. Makes sense because winds aloft around here. 36 to 10 knots, so 46, what's 23 knots gust. So yeah, I can see it kicking around a little plane like this. Trim out, we'll find out our exact speed and everything. But my ground speed right now is 97 knots on a climb, which isn't terrible for a GA aircraft. We're gonna start trimming down here. Again, I'm using the thumb control for the trim, electronic trim here, which is why you would test that on the ground. Doesn't seem like there's a trim wheel of any type in this aircraft, so a lot of electronics, modern aircraft. Should be about 298. Let's go direct. So we'll leave it right about there, but we're looking pretty good. Can just climb to 8,500. Then we gotta trim down and make it stay there. So. But hey, let me know in chat if any of you have flown the DA-40 on the sim, because I find it to be a pretty intricate aircraft at first. Getting used to things. And I have seen I've seen a Diamond, I think it was a 60 though, when I flew to Chatham one time on Cape Cod there in Massachusetts. So that was last winter, believe it or not. I think last March. So nice looking aircraft. Here we go. We're 8,500 right now. Okay, we'll also get an altimeter setting pretty soon. Alright, so listen, we're going to do a little VOR practice here. As soon as I trim out here, I just got to trim out. I'm also going to bring the power back to about 70 or so. You see how it bounces around like that? That's the control pitch prop doing its job. But I found about 70 knots is, 70% power is where we want to be. So. As far as trimming it out, yeah, it's okay. It's a little delicate. Okay, what's maneuvering speed in this thing? Let's check the checklist. Maneuvering speed is 113. So actually, that's what we're going to aim for with our throttle here. I don't know why it's doing that. Give me a second here. No clue why it's interacting like that. Alright. Again, getting used to things. Interesting. All right. So we have the Fillmore VOR 112.5 out here, and it should be somewhat to the west here. And we're gonna have to turn this off and go to VOR, I believe, 1 as soon as I activate it. Yeah, there we go. All right, now I'm gonna turn that nav heading somehow. I gotta find the button for it. Just course to the left. There we go. So I should have a 2 indicator, which is what that green arrow is right here. It's saying from right now. Now it says 2, and once that lines up in the middle there, the line right here, that means if I went 2 in that heading, we would be going to the VOR directly. So I would have to have a heading of about 216 to go directly to the Fillmore VOR, which makes perfect sense if you look at this. And that's how you find Dead Reckoning, how to get to a VOR. It can help you out in case you lost, especially if there's one at the airfield. So alright. Cabin heat, don't need it. Side air temperature 9 degrees. Frost floor. The RPMs, I don't know why they're that high. Again, I can't really control that because I don't have a mixture or anything, I don't think. No. We're burning about 7 gallons per hour. Not too shabby. And we're over the Upper Mountain National Wildlife Refuge. Altitudes will get up to about 7,000 at the tallest peak here as we go over these mountains. So again, we want to remain at least 1,000 feet over that. That's the safe way of doing this. And we might even do a return leg back to from Paso Robles, California, back to Van Nuys. So what is going on with the throttle? No clue. Let me see if something in SPAD is messing that up, because that could be it. Alright. Trim down. No. Okay. So nothing should be happening right now with anything. The only thing I should have activated through SPAD is working on radios and stuff, which I hope that's it, is this load thing shouldn't go up and down. Usually that's a throttle thing, so I have 2 quadrants hooked up. I have a TPM for Cessnas, and I have a regular throttle quadrant for everything else, so we're using the regular throttle quadrant tonight because it's kind of a stick there. See what I'm saying? Okay, maneuvering speed's about 113, so it's not bad to be underneath that, but I have no clue how to control RPMs because there's no mixture or anything, so I'm hoping that it just does it itself. Off to our left would be the town or city of Fillmore, California. This is real world weather. It's pushed back a couple hours for real world time though, so that way we could have some daylight on the way there. And if we decide to do the return back, it's probably going to have a little bit of evening, not total darkness, but on the way back to Van Nuys, we would have a little bit of that. This place is being kicked around in these winds though. You see that? So alright, it's not terrible. Again, I don't know why the RPMs are that tall there, but I'm not going to worry about it. Again, I believe it's all controlled by a computer. And oh, there's the fuel pumps. Duh. Alright, anyways, you can see that we've burned some fuel in one tank, and yet the other tank is not being depleted. That's because the right tank is where you have to transfer the fuel from to the left tank, and you're not supposed to have more than 9 gallons difference right here. Max left is 9 US gallons. So we're still okay, just that we want to balance that out now. And maybe also get back on course. So that might be good too. All right, let's let it level itself out. We'll go to autopilot here. Heading. Okay. And we'll also do some vertical speed, nose down. Get down to 8,500. And keep an eye on that. Hit the Alt button here when needed. So. Pretty good. Never got to do any commands for chat commands, but it's okay. We do what we can, and that's it, you know. More about the flight tonight. Kick this back just a little bit. Is the fuel pump supposed to be on now that I found the switch? Because it probably was, right? Fuel pumps are off at the climb to cruise. Okay. Fuel transfer is what we just used to transfer. So that should be pumping over. This emergency is extra fuel that you store in case of emergency. So when it has a certain amount of gallons in there, these gallons are basically in the main tanks, and then there's an emergency tank. I can't remember how many gallons are in there, but you can use it intermittently to basically have more fuel in the plane, and it's stored in like a reserve tank. So, whoop, well, I want to go up here, nose up, and we'll set the altitude there for 8,500. It's my advisory thing. Didn't know why that was flashing. But alright, we shall set the altitude mode right about now. Not 9,000. There we go. It's all still right. Yep, okay. So let's see if it holds there. It should. Auto auxiliary pump is on. Which I think they mean the fuel transfer pump is on. You can see it takes a while for it to pump all that gas back there. So hopefully that's working. Unless you have fuel pumps on with the fuel transfer, which would make sense in a way. But that's not what it says in the checklist here. It just says fuel transfer repeat is required. So I don't know. Couldn't find that switch for the longest time. Now I know where it is. So. Again, beautiful scenery, and it's nice to have a plane where you could really see out the cockpit. So, one of the pluses of the Diamond here. Beautiful scenery. Beautiful weather here in California. Real world. Actually, I have to kind of dial in for a pressure setting here, so let me do that. Let's see an airport that's around here. They're a little few and far in between when you go over some mountains there, but let's see if we can dial into Santa Maria Hancock Airport. ATIS 121.15. 121.15. Get a really quick check here. If I can get it, it's pretty far. So if not, let's try Santa Barbara 132.65. Those winds are pushing me a little bit, so.
Santa Barbara Airport Information Uniform 2200 Zulu. Wind 183 at 22. Visibility 9er.
I also touched that button by accident here, so.
Temperature 26. 2.13. Altimeter 30.03. Visual runway 25 inches.
Alright.
Landing and departing runway 25.
Alright. So now I know why it was all messed up. It's because I accidentally touched the barometric pressure button behind here, but we'll get it going on. Thank you for your patience as I learn the aircraft. The G1000, I should have kind of known that. But this thing takes Jet A fuel, believe it or not, diesel Jet A fuel. So needs that higher quality gas. By the way, we are in the middle of a snowstorm here on the East Coast here, and the power might fluctuate. I have a backup power supply on the computer, but it won't it won't survive for like an hour of flight simming. So if the power does go out, I'm probably going to have to cancel the broadcast. But we will keep it on as long as it can be. So and it seems to be reading the altitude right now, so we'll make sure of that. But we're supposed to be there in about 41 minutes. Just a nice little short hop over to Paso, Robles. I'm pronouncing that right. Paso, Robles, California. Yeah, it's locked on, so we should be pretty good. Yep. Alright. Again, don't know how you control the RPMs here. I again think it's all computer controlled, so just the way it is. I don't see anything to really control that here. So there's your trim wheel. Actually, it does have a trim wheel. So alright, so if the electronic trim were to go out, you still have the wheel over here, which is nice to know. And what's this button do? Okay, that reclines the chairs. Really nice aircraft, as you can see. Really detailed and everything. We're traveling at 8,500 again to Paso, Robles. Alright, let me show the route of tonight's flight. So again, we left Van Nuys, California. Onto the Class Charlie. I kind of went through it a little bit, but I was in two-way communication with approach, so we were fine. So if you were on tower, they'd probably send you off to approach. But Paso Robles is up here. And I actually chose this because, one, I actually went to this airport on my Around the USA flights earlier this summer. And two, it had about an hour and a half flight. So want something maybe I can go to and back. So we'll see if I'm up for that second leg over there. And if not, just enjoy the scenery there. So once again, it's been a little bit of a stressful start of the week, so it's good to fly. I was able to fly in real life on Saturday. That was amazing. I didn't go anywhere far because there were gusts up to 17 knots, so I didn't do a cross-country flight, but I did get to visit my childhood neighborhood airport of North Central State Airport in Rhode Island. And I also went around Class Charlie and landed at Newport, Rhode Island, which is my first time at those two airports. So I was able to land at two airports I never landed at before, which is pretty cool. That video, again, will be coming out as soon as I get the other videos done. We're just in the middle of grading for the second quarter here, so I've had to focus on that a lot more. And as soon as I get more time, I will be posting more live flight videos to the Eric Flight YouTube channel, so feel free to check that out. YouTube.com/Eric Flight, one word, all lowercase letters. And you can see some real world flying. But I've never flown real life in California, so this has this all looks foreign to me. There seems to be a plane right behind me, so is that someone flying with me tonight or not? We shall find out. I don't think so. But if you did want to fly with me, we will be at Paso Robles pretty soon. And you could take it from there if we're going to do a leg back. Or you could leave from Taft-Kern County. I'm on the East server, by the way, for Microsoft Flight Simulator if you want to join me. And Taft-Kern County would be Lima 17. So feel free to come fly. Always like company. Not a problem at all. But man, beautiful scenery out here in the west. Really windy again. Let's see what the winds are coming from, actually. So wind, option 3. And we have a slight tailwind, 13 knots, but Rex Weather Force lately has been really kicking up the whole feeling on the aircraft here. The other day, when I went to Montauk, New York on the simulator and back, they had gusts up to like 30 knots in some places, and you could really feel it on the landing, so it was kind of cool to see that. I wouldn't mind flying one of these in real life, I'll be honest with you. Alright. So, I did transfer all that fuel, and now I have to burn it off big time, because I totally forgot to hit the transfer button off. But you can clearly see that that's what you got to do. So the right tank's like a holding tank, and the left tank's what fills up to do that. But that'd be 5 gallons in between, so we're still okay. Again, they want no more than a 9-gallon difference right here, and that's in also, for lack of a better term, the Aircraft Flight Manual, the AFM, which is otherwise known as the POH in some circles. So, and again, referred to that for the entire tank capacity. I download the whole thing. I got to read it more. But the usable fuel is 19.5 gallons. However, the max indicated fuel is 14, and that's per tank. So, 2 times 14 gallons. The other 5.5 again is the emergency tank right there. So, and I guess that you would just use it in case you ran out of fuel, which would be kind of dumb to do if you're calculating all the stuff. But we can book this up a little bit more in speed here, as long as the controllable pitch prop wants to do its job. There we go. Try to get to 113 knots here, so let's push it to 80% power here. See what it does. But again, I have no way of controlling the prop here, so this flashing RPM at me is a little disconcerting, but I don't see anywhere where I could actually control that. Other than the power percentage, which is still going to have nothing to do with this because the mixture and the prop are all in one handle. It does it by computer. So I don't know. But I think I'll try flying it more with my hand if I by hand if I decide to go back to Van Nuys. We could also do another destination. We don't have to go to Van Nuys if we don't want to. But we'd probably climb at 9,500 for a cruise altitude out of here. But Paso Robles is only 37.5 minutes left. And I'm getting that from my Avere electronic flight bag here. So, it is what it is. I'm going to clear out the thing here. And currently, we are right about there. Paso Robles is out there. So, I want to thank my recent followers on the Eric Flight Twitch, by the way. We hit 100 followers last stream, so that was awesome to see that. And I hope we continue growing. And I hope that you see some value in the flights I do. Again, sometimes they're random. Like this is just a random one. I picked the destination and departure airport just by weather and coincidence, but it's more about learning how to do the DA-40 tonight. Excuse me. And getting used to it. So this will make it a total of 4 planes that I'm gonna get comfortable with on the simulator for GA. I want to fly the Pipistrel as well. Do some short flights with that. It's a light sport aircraft. And they also had payware aircraft, the Jabiru, which is Australian made. Someone actually made that for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I checked with the flight club, the Virtue USA Flight Club, and said, hey, does anyone have that plane? It's worth it. It's like a light sport, but it's Iris Simulations. I'll check this out here. Let me just put this on the tablet. And it looks pretty good. So I might buy it. I might not. Not sure yet. It's about 25 bucks or so. And it looks like a nice little aircraft there, so. I've heard of Iris Simulations, but I'm not used to their aircraft, so we'd have to take a look at it. But it looks like a little sporty aircraft. So I'm thinking that might be a purchase in the future if I ask around a little bit more and see what it's all about. But that's the most popular sport aircraft in Australia. So. All right, we are about to fly over, or near, Ford City, Taft, California. Excuse me? Which will be out to our 1 o'clock-ish or so. And maybe we'll just let the autopilot do its thing with nav here. So let's turn on nav mode, and let's just shift it right to the magenta line there. First, got to intercept it, then make it go straight. And again, you have to have everything programmed to the G1000 to do this. So, ground speed on this thing, 128 knots. Not that bad. Kind of comparable to the Cessna 172. And looks to be easily flyable once you understand every little thing on it, you know? So, ECU test is right there. Actually, that would be the, I guess, the little bulb or something. I have no clue, but it's inoperative on this model anyways. So, this emergency thing, I can't remember. Oh, the emergency horizon. I think it's in case you lose power, you could turn the horizon on battery power, but you have one over here too, so which would probably need power though, right? Yeah, so that makes sense in a way. Again, things to read in the aircraft flight manual still, and when I get enough time, I'll actually probably read up on it a little bit more. But the scenery out here is exquisite. Exquisite. Let's take another look outside. We're flying towards mid-central California here, so you're going to see a lot more mountains and farmland as we go over here. What a nice looking airplane though, huh? The oddity is this little narrow body right there, like it just makes you think, how does that thing not snap in half with it being that thin? But it's just aerodynamics, that's what it's built for. So, and fitting 4 people in here, that's gonna be kind of cramped, but it actually looks like there's a lot of space back here. So I don't know, not much storage space though, from what I'm seeing for bags and stuff in the back. Oof. Paso, Robles is calling. 32.5 minutes out. And now we have a ground speed of 130 knots. So, again, those winds are helping us very slightly from 196. At 13 knots. Alright, let's stay awake here. Very tiring tonight. You're on guard, Whip! Ugh. Here the cat calls. Meow. That's it. Someone just meowed, I'm awake. Sorry, it's tough working a job where you wake up at like 5:30 in the morning and try to stay up the stream, but I'm trying my best. Ooh. Scotty AD Air. Scotty Ad Air? Scotty Ad Air. Interesting name. Scat Cat. That sounds pretty cool. Foxtrot Alpha. Alright, but no one is flying a diamond here, I don't think so. Again, I haven't seen tons of people fly this aircraft. In the in the actual description, it says that it has a range of 940 nautical miles. It doesn't. So there's got to be something they modeled wrong, or they went with like standard gas tanks instead of extended. So I don't know what they're saying with 940 nautical miles, because when I did test on this, when I did the Cannonball run, it was actually shorter in range than the 172. So maybe real life with extended tanks it's 940 nautical miles, but in no way is it in real life. And gas flow about 8 gallons per hour, so it's like comparable to a 172 on the gas flow. So again, don't understand how the RPMs can stay up there the whole time. I don't control any of that, and it's quite intricate. The other thing is, how do you tell the trim, like the trim indicator? Like we just do this, it goes, okay, cool, but do we look here? Is this, I guess you have to look here and kind of find out where it is in relation to that. Oh, actually I went to the emergency valve there, but that's cool. Very beautiful out here in California. I like the colors on it too. I like the blue. Blue is my favorite color. Really, really stylish. Again, Jet A powered, so not av gas at all in this model. The I think it's the XL model, which is just a regular old version of this, is av gas, but the next gen is Jet A. Sexy looking airplane, even if it's not as powerful as others. Yeah, I'm not quite understanding this whole thing. I think that you'd set the power and leave it and it wouldn't jump all around. Let me check one thing with this. Yeah, I don't know, man. Southwest Airlines 479, that looks like to be a real old flight. So how about we check that up? Again, we'll get our Flight Radar 24 app out and check out what that flight really is in real life. Southwest Airlines 479. It says it's from Los Angeles to San Francisco. It is a 737-800 Boeing aircraft. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. There you go. It's just the Flight Radar 24 app. Show on map, it'll kind of show you where it is currently. It is over the San Francisco Bay Area. Again, departing from Los Angeles, going to San Francisco. So it's actually landing in San Francisco up there. In real life, has 50 nautical miles to go. So this is a little delayed usually in the simulator. Because we are, in relation to the Bay Area, we are way south of that. So that is way in the distance up there, as it is landing in real life in San Francisco. So it's kind of amazing that you'd see a call sign from here being so long distance out there. Beautiful trees. Just really nice landscape, I mean, to be honest with you. as far as space in the aircraft, it looks pretty comfortable. Myself, I don't know about having the joystick in the middle of your legs, but the seats look very comfortable. The leather and everything. And again, the only way that you can actually judge that is by actually stepping into one of these aircraft. So maybe someday. I'm gonna try to find out what that essential bus is. Is that what this is? Not for normal operation. See here. Flight manual. Well, take a look at it on my computer while we're on autopilot here. I'd like to say a shout out to Otto, the autopilot, for being on tonight. Thank you so much, Otto.
Automatic pilot.
Automatic pilot. There it is.
Yes, thank you, Otto, the autopilot.
I'll go back to the passengers.
Let's see. Check this. Here's the air flight manual. Let's put it here. We'll explore it together, shall we? So here's what it looks like. You can actually download this from the Diamond website, but can I get this to be full screen without the preview? I think there is a way. All right, operating emergency procedures. And no, not really. What's that say? Oh. Two-page view. No. Okay, no annotations. How do I get it to fully zoom across and not have this menu there? I don't know. Unless I zoom in. I guess that will work somewhat. Well, I could do so much on the tablet, so I'm going to take it off screen actually. And read it off screen. So that way I get an idea of what some of this stuff means as we fly this to Paso, Robles, which again is 50 nautical miles out. We have about 25 minutes to make it there, so. There we go. Can actually put it right on the main thing here. I didn't even think about that. Alright. So again, this is the aircraft flight manual. Anything you have a question about should be in here. And this is something that you would have to study if you are taking your check ride. This you have to understand the whole aircraft of what you're flying. Alright. Engine instrument markings 211. Let's go there and see what we can find. 29, 219, 217, 215, 13, 211. Alright. Warning, caution, and status lights. So the G1000 would have these warning alerts in red, which isn't modeled on here. That's kind of your weight and balance stuff there. That's not gonna help me. I'm trying to find out some things about the essential bus. So let's just search essential. See what pops up. Okie dokie. Essential. Next to essential bus switch, not for normal operation. This is what should be displayed on there. Oh, previous. Alright, general, essential, blah, blah, blah. Alright, if there's an alternator failure, check circuit breakers. Essential bus is on. That means the essential instruments for your aircraft will be on in case there's an alternator failure. That's what's got to mean. And that's all it is, right? Yeah, essential bus on. So the bus is referring to the pathway for electricity to reach the crucial instruments. And emergency switch is also a backup to that as well, I believe, which is right there. For the horizon, the artificial horizon. Probably some type of battery power for it. Again, same thing with electrical. Essential bus is on if there's a high current. And it's just showing the major instruments controls. Electrical power distributor if you have the hot battery bus, bus 1, bus 2, ECU bus, main bus, essential bus, and the avionic bus. Alright, battery, bus 2. Air supplies power the main bus via the power relay, which can be controlled by the electric master key switch and the essential bus switch. Okay, so now they're just saying how it flows from the battery to the ECU bus connects to the battery of a engine control unit bus again. This is all about electronics. So, again, that's just to provide emergency power then, in case there's a power failure or something. And it probably just turns on the essential stuff and not all the extras that are nice to have but don't need. Again, maneuvering speed 113 if you have maximum weight in here. And there's different ones. So it is what it is. Flight manual, yep. Let's check our fuel, by the way. We're doing well. This left has to go down a little bit more. It should be burning only on the left, so let's take a look at that. Yeah. So again, it's gonna sipping that gas though. So again, don't understand why this is jumping up and down. Don't know if it does that in real life, but exploring this aircraft is a little bit of a mystery to me, just because of everything that's going on. We're well within maneuvering speed limits here. In fact, we can increase that power a little bit. But I'm not understanding why the RPMs stay in the yellow and red if it's all controlled by computer. So, and the gas flow is going up and down, up and down, up and down. Don't know. Do not know at all. Could have something to do with SPAD. Might not have anything to do with SPAD, which is the driver software I use to control everything here. But try switching profiles here. We'll see if that holds true. That seems to have done the job. I have it on the Cirrus profile right now, so I don't know. Maybe it does have something to do with that, you know. It's got 85% load. See if that'll take us closer to 113. And alright. Guess I'll save this as a profile. New profile from this. We'll say MSFS Diamond DA40 Next Gen. And we'll tweak that one from now on. And we'll assign it. Activate. We're also going to assign it to the DA40. Good. Alright. Wait a minute. No. Okay. Now I'm going to assign it. There we go. Now that will auto load on this, but it doesn't seem bouncing around anymore, does it? So I guess that was a SPAD problem. Alright. Well, let's check out where we are in the grand scheme of things here. Okay, so we'll try and flight back. Paso, Robles out there. We are right about out here, right outside the Fellows VOR. Okay, nothing about mountains and farmland and probably little towns out here, so that's why we're not seeing much. That looks to be maybe a solar farm on our right. Maybe some trees and stuff, maybe an orange farm. So, that might be agriculture or solar, I can't really tell right now. Again, Central California, really a quiet area. And the ground speed 142 knots now. Again, that's because the wind shifted a little bit more from the south here. And they're giving us more of a tailwind as we make our way. Got some clouds coming off on our left here. But it should be pretty clear for most of the flight. Again, we're using Rex Weather Force for our weather tonight. So, currently pulling weather from Santa Maria Public, Captain Hancock Airport. And Yeah. All right, let's get the ASOS going on for Paso Robles. Let's see if we can get it from here. 120.125. See if we can get any indication of weather there. We're still far out though. We're about a good 30 nautical miles out. So, all right, we'll just stay on that sim Unicom and go from there. I don't think there's any controllers or anything out here. We could have LAX Center to get in there, but it's a Class Echo airport, so we don't need anything like that. We're just gonna go in ourselves and do it. These clouds though are starting to form. Let me update the weather here on my EFB. And we will have to get underneath those clouds. Just room over here on the right to do that. But it's doing a little bit of an update right now, so let's let it be and stay at 8,500 for now. Clouds are indeed coming in, so we're going to have to be a little concerned, seeing that we're flying VFR. Just want to see what the panel brightness thing. I thought it was for the actual screen of the G1000, but obviously not. Wonder if there is a screen brightness setting here. I don't really see one. The floodlights are obviously there, but I'd like to darken the screen if I can, so I can see it a little bit more better. Don't see anywhere where you can do that though, so. I think the instrument lights would be it though, but you'd think it would be. I mean, it works, but I have to turn it down a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna have to find a hole. We'll turn on 180 if we have to. But let's look at the electronic flight back here. Get some weather from Paso Robles. It says clear 10 square miles, winds 190 at 10 knots. Which means that we're gonna hopefully land at 19er for a runway. Again, the clouds hopefully should go away as we get closer. But weather force is saying that San Luis Obispo County just changed this weather right now. Clear 10 square miles, so that should clear out. This was just around the area where there were clouds. You can see they're dissipating to Rex weather force as we continue here. So that's good. I wanted someplace where weather was going to be as a problem because I'm flying the Diamond 40 for the real first time tonight. Okay, how's our fuel going here? Doing pretty good. Now, according to the website here, for Diamond, it's supposed to sip 5.1 gallons per hour and have a range of 940 nautical miles. That's at 40% power. So let's see if it goes down to 5.1 gallons at 40% load here. I'm intrigued at this. So that's why the RPMs were high. And let's see if it sips 5.1 gallons per hour at 40% load here. Also says it has a true airspeed of 154 knots and a ceiling of 16,400, a useful load of 904 pounds. So it's comparable to a Cessna 172. And it is sipping gas. So maybe that's where the 940 nautical miles comes in, because you just turn it down like that. As far as the ground speed, it did go down to about 113, which isn't too shabby. But we'll just continue to leave it at this power setting here, 40%, and see what it does. And you can see that the RPMs are under control now. So I guess you got to set power with RPM in mind. Controllable pitch prop here. But again, I'm gonna have to read up on in the aircraft flight manual what the power settings are and stuff for this Diamond DA40. I don't like that it went down that low on indicated though. So I don't think consumption at 60%. I'm sorry. So let's go to 60% load. Alright, that makes more sense now. So 60%. I don't know where I got 40% from. Oh, it's range at 40% is 941 nautical miles. Consumption at 60% is 5.1. And you can see that it's looking to be a little bit higher. According to the simulator here, it's about 6. But that must be the conservative figure. Let's pump it back up here to about 2100 RPMs or so. Alright, that's in the green. But that indicated airspeed is nowhere around 113. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I have to read up on this. Let's leave it there for now and just let it run. See what happens. We are 10 minutes out, 19.4 nautical miles. So we are going to have to start descent. Pattern altitude would be about 1,800. So let's take it off autopilot. Kick it back. I'm going to go kind of like the Cirrus. I'm going to go like 20% power. And just angle it down here. Or 40. Maybe 40. That looks decent. I'm going by my descent here. The VSI. Speed indicator. Down, trimming down, autopilot's off, everything's off. Alright, now let's see if we can get some weather at Paso, Robles. And it does have an airport diagram. However, that moving map is not working on the airport diagram. Let me show you what I mean. I haven't seen this in real life. In real life, I used this on Saturday, and it was working fine. But just after the airport diagram is fine. I just don't understand why that's stuck there. So, I guess it is what it is. But we should have some weather out of Paso, Robles. Let me see if I can get the Microsoft Flight Simulator defaults here. There's airport list. So Robles, does it have weather? No, it only has tower, so that makes a lot of sense now. So what we're going to do then is we're going to go for Rex Weather Force. In real life, there is a weather station there. And it says winds are 310, but if I go and search here, it'll give me the weather there. So no, Paso Robles is PRB. Sorry. I checked my electronic flight back. It said 190-ish. 180 at 7 knots. So yeah, we're going to take runway 19er. Clear, 10 square miles of visibility. Awesome. Alright, that's what we're going to do then. Whoop. I just closed down Rex Weather Force. Why? I don't know, but you're going to see a flash, and you're also going to hear some thunder here, so just be ready for it. Bam! And we'll make it work again. Sorry about that, everybody. I hit the X to X out of it by accident. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Alrighty, then. I'm going to plug my cell phone in here. It's got 4% battery. That charge as we're doing our descent into Paso, Robles Airport. Testing out the DA-40 tonight. And let's have Allison inform you about our descent.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. Make sure your seat belt is securely fastened, and all carry-on luggage is stowed safely and securely in the aircraft. Thank you.
Probably should turn on course too, that might help, huh? Just a thought. Alright. The VOR at Paso Robles is 114.3, and we'd probably dial on that in real life, so that way we wouldn't have a problem. There we go. Right, it's active. And I turn CDI until it said 2. Should hopefully be somewhere around what I am heading towards. So I'd have to head towards 309er or so, and I'd line up with that arrow, and then lead me right to Paso Robles, which has a VOR on field. Alright, 19er is it left or right? It is left traffic. So we'll do a left 45 downwind. It's a runway 19er. We're gonna make our descent a little faster and make this happen. Okay, we're also gonna transfer some fuel over, but didn't take that much fuel at all. This thing is sipping fuel, so. Okay, we're gonna head a little bit west and then intercept at a 45 left downwind, runway 19er. So, Paso Robles traffic, Diamond 9 Echo Foxtrot. We're 10 nautical miles to the southeast. We're setting up a 45 for runway 19er, Paso Robles. Again, double this would be about 10, so that's why we got the 10 from there. The electronic flight back just kind of backs me up and says it was around 10, so. But call out on the CTAF, just 122.8 and VATSIM, so that way people kind of understand where you are and what your intentions are around the airport. So it'd be a terrible day if someone was trying to land on runway 31 for some reason. Alright, let's go to the landing checklist. Make sure I got everything going on here. Descent, landing data received, altimeter set, comm set, seatbelt fastened, backrest upright, fuel transfer as required. We're good. Alright. So the left is more than the right. Parking brake checked, released, fuel pumps are on, and landing light is on. So fuel pump's on. Landing light is already on. Yeah, everything should be on because I like all my lights on. Good. Alright, before landing, downwind, latest base leg. So base leg will have flaps to take off, then on final we'll do landing. That makes sense, kind of like the Cirrus. If it's a go around, power to max, flaps to take off, and then keep going, take off and track the flaps. And let me get some speeds here. Alright. Take off, max flap speed's 110. So we can actually, we'll be fine with that. It's kind of like the Cessna on that. The max flap speed for landing is 95, which is where about this white arc is. So, good. Alright, well, we checking for a landing speed here, though. Blah, blah, blah. There we go, approach speed. Should be about 77 on final with flaps fully in the landing position. Flaps are up, should be about 83. knots, and I'm going with maximum speed on that. If you're wondering where I'm getting this from, I'm getting this from the official Diamond checklist here. And again, approach speeds are right here. It goes by the weight of the aircraft. I just go max weight just to make sure I got it. It's about the same anyways, a couple knots off, not that bad. But that's something you'd have to know. So minimum GA speed for flaps and takeoff is 72, or else you gotta be stalling. So, all right, let's turn towards the airport slightly as we're descending down here. And pattern altitude is 1,800 here, so we have still a way to go on the descent, but that's all right. And the town or city of Paso Robles is right here, so that's what the airport is named for. Little city or town. Looks more like a city to me. The airport is out there in the distance, so we'll be heading towards it. Turn to the right more. Is that it out in the distance? Should be somewhere out there. Can't really see it right now unless is that it? I always find it kind of hard to see the airports in this at first. You can clearly see that I have some blurries here, so still loading some stuff on the internet. But I don't know. We will. I'm going to use the electronic flight bag to help me mostly. So. Oh, there it is, right there. All right, I'm a little bit too close to it, so let's go out here and then we'll go in. Fat principle. I don't know how I feel about that, being a licensed administrator, just not using it because I'm too young. Might never use it. I don't know. Ugh. Alright. Could be a real principle, right? Okay, keep that descent going. Trim down. Paso Robles traffic. Diamond 9 Echo Foxtrot, 5 miles to the south. Setting up a 45 for runway 19er, Paso Robles. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. That is the airport. There are 2 runways, believe it or not. There's one that goes this way, and there's one that goes that way. And we'll be at a good distance still. Again, not being familiar with the airport, trying to work with the airplane here. It's been a little bit of the thought process here to get it working, but I'm getting a good grasp on it. More experience is needed, though. Okay. Paso Robles traffic, Diamond 9 Echo Foxtrot, 4 miles out on the 45 for runway 19er, Paso Robles. Very good. Look at my left, there should be no traffic. Get about 1,800 feet, we'll level off. Probably throw a little bit more power in there. You'll be fine. Okay, I'm gonna turn right about here for downwind. Flap extension speed. Oh, 110, that's right, 110. So we're going to go a little slower, but we're not going to extend that till we're on base anyway, so. Okay, turning slightly to the downwind here. Paso Robles, Diamond Echo, 9 Echo Foxtrot, left downwind, runway 19 Pablo Robles. Paso Robles, correction. Alright. So we are downwind. When we turn base, we will do our thing there, but we should be a little bit further out. We're heading in a little bit too much. Right about there. Trim up a little bit. Looking pretty good if you ask me. I mean, I'm not as experienced in the Diamond 40 as I am in Cessna or anything. I haven't flown one of these in real life. And looking decent. Okay, probably gonna turn right about here, right before that river for base. And then we'll throw takeoff flaps in there and probably increase the RPM slightly. Okay, turning base, clearing the left. Increase the RPMs right about now. Okay, we're under 110. Take off on the flaps, turning final pretty soon. But we're ready to put that index 95 knots with the other speed for the flaps. And again, we want to be at an approach speed of landing at about 77 knots or so. It's not too shabby. Turning final. Paso Robles, left base to final. Runway 19er. Diamond 9 Foxtrot, Paso Robles. Did that a little out of order, but that's okay. Okay, kick this back. We're going a little fast. Level out to leave some speed off, then put full flaps in. There we go. And angle down. Keep the throttle off till we hit about 77. A little high. That's why I did that. I'm gonna have to get used to this plane a little bit more. We're coming in very fast here. Throttle's out. But it will bleed off as we get down there. We're just going a little fast for the approach here. It'll bleed off though. Right. Approach speed, and again, it's just going to take a lot more runway to get this down there because I was going so fast, but we can make it, and that's what matters. All right, runway 19er. We should have to go to the right here for the terminal, which is over there. Aerodynamic braking is not working that well. And there should be Delta coming up on our right, I believe. So, flaps up. All the way. Let's do the checklist here while I'm gliding down here. After landing, flaps up. Veto heat off. Fuel pumps off. Okay. I want to turn off the runway here. Alternate air is closed. It is. And landing taxi light as required. I'm going to leave all lights on until I park. Probably turn the strobe lights off. Actually, I don't want to blind anyone with that. Okay, we are clear of the runway. Paso Robles traffic. Diamond 9 Echo Foxtrot clear of runway 19 on Paso Robles. Alright, so here's what I think we should do. I'm going to leave the strobes on. We are going to take off out of here and go right back to where we were, which was Van Nuys, California. So let me load the plan here to go back. Load reverse. There we go. Active map. And let's make sure it's pointing to Van Nuys. Alright, this is Class E, so I don't really have to say much of anything. I can just kind of taxi my way back down there. take a look at the pre-landing, post takeoff checklist. Pre-takeoff checklist, sorry. As we get down to 19er again. Paso Robles. That's what we're looking like as my... Actually, I can't do that because it won't let me fly the plane when I have the drone up. Boy, does that suck, huh? That's alright. Alright, our return altitude will be 7,500. I'll also have to file this flight. That's the volume. There you go. Oh boy. Alright, we're also going to keep the fuel where it is because it looks good. Yeah, you can see that that plane's not moving on the movable map, so I hope they fix that. Just a little bug. It's still usable. Just you don't have the little aircraft to move you all around. All right. Well, again, we're getting a handle on the DA-40 tonight, and it's going okay. All right. While I taxi down. We're all set with that. Landing light on. Approach sectors clear. Runway identified. Yeah. Available power check, which I don't really do. That's because it has something to do with the computer controlling everything there, so. Alright. Flaps go up at the passing safe altitude, so probably 500 to 700 feet in the air. Climb power is set. Alright. Oh boy. Okay, we'll set flaps to take off at this time. Verify that they went down. They did. You know what? We will set the drone up. We'll just do it when we're off the runway. I don't know if I'd have scenery for this or not installed. I have tons of scenery, like 199 gigabytes of scenery. So, don't know if this is one of the airports that was downloaded or not. But yeah, gonna have to get more practice at this model here. I don't know. I don't know about going back. Maybe we'll just call it a night. I don't know. I'm not kind of feeling it now. But let's turn off on this run-up area and send the drone out at least to look at Paso Robles. That's what I think we should do, at least. So, let's turn this puppy this way in the run-up area. And then we'll put the parking brake on. Parking brake on, leave it idling, and let's go check out Paso Robles. For some reason, I cannot increase the speed of the drone anymore. I do not know what happened to the buttons here. Oh, it's F6 now. Okay. Well, we found why F6 will increase the speed of the drone. It used to be F2. So I don't know what happened there, but we have some landing aircraft here, and this does seem to be default buildings here in Paso Robles, which is fine. The actual town, if I got this right, 19er was what? Which way? 3119er, so the town would be this way. Out here in the distance. Somewhere. Really beautiful place, give you that. So, shall we compare what it looks like to Google Maps? Let me see if I can get it up here though. KPRB satellite. Well, let's take a look. Close that down. There's the airport. Yeah, that looks comparable, right? Yeah. Looks really good. And then what we're looking at is Paso Robles over here. So let's turn this. And yeah, that looks pretty good. So we're looking at it from about this angle. Something like that. And even the other side, the river, you got something there, so. Wonder what this loadout button is now. I guess it's S5. F6 is the speed up button though. Okay. Well, I guess I can do that. There you go. What did I just do? I don't know what I just did. What did I do? There we go. No clue what I just did there, so now I can't rotate. It's locked. Alright, well, I tried. This is, I think, the buttons. Give me a tonight, I swear. That's why we're going to call it a night, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not, it's not working for me right now. Paso Robles. There we go. Back at the airport. So anyways, I want to say thank you to all those that were watching my stream earlier tonight. Appreciate it. We're going to call it a night here at Paso Robles. Just not feeling it tonight, you know. But it was nice to experiment with the Diamond 40 as that Cirrus 152 went out to outer space. And again, appreciate the support. Make sure that you follow the Eric Flight Twitch channel. And also check out Eric Flight on YouTube. YouTube.com/Eric Flight. One word, lowercase letters, real world flights there. And I'll keep posting on there as well as archiving my flights, which I will release that link pretty soon. It's going to be a separate YouTube channel for just archived streaming flights on Twitch. But reporting out from Paso Robles, California. Have a great night.